Welcome to Furleigh Estate. We're very pleased that you could join us. With Christmas fast approaching, we thought it'd be really helpful if we spent some time talking about the wines that we'll be enjoying over the next few weeks, and particularly talking about the food that these wines would go very well with. Here at Furleigh Estate we do such a wide range of wines, and hopefully we'll be showing that there's something to go with everything. To help us, we've invited our very good friend Rebecca Mitchell. Many of you will know Rebecca as a wine educator for the WSET. She's also writes regularly for the regional press. She's been a sommelier, she's done all sorts of things, and she also tastes all our wines as we release them and writes our tasting notes and food matching notes which go onto our website. So there's no better person to have here to help us decide what wines we're going to be drinking this Christmas. So welcome, Rebecca. And to start with, I guess we need to think about welcoming our guests through the door, and what wine will we open for that very first drink?
So a lovely way to welcome your guests would be with the Furleigh Estate Classic Cuvée. It's such an elegant wine. I really love this wine, and it's perfect for celebrations and a brilliant way to kick off the festive season. It's absolutely lovely. And it also comes in magnums. So that's a lovely way if you're entertaining to actually open a magnum and share it for Christmas as well. What I find, this has got such a beautiful pale straw colour and really tiny minute bubbles. On the aroma, it's got these wonderful aromas of apple blossom, there's hints of ripe melon and Constance pear really shining through. And on the palate, when you taste it, it's got this gorgeous, almost sort of grapefruit acidity running through it. There's hints of Sicilian lemon. I also find it's got a lovely crystalline structure, which almost is reminiscent of the terroir here at Furleigh Estate, and that really gives it a nice balance and freshness. And there's a zingy, zesty acidity there as well. And I think this would be perfect for canapes at Christmas, such as the smoked salmon blinis. They would be really lovely. That saltiness of the wine really shining through and pairing well with the smoked salmon. Also good with the mozzarella olives. That would be delicious with the classic cuvée. Things like this lovely cheese straws baked locally, this would bring out more of the subtle autolytic character of this wine, which I find is so beautiful and elegant. And it would also be good with things like angels on horseback, which is very festive at Christmas, and even scallops wrapped in bacon would be another nice little canapé to have with this wine. But one of my absolute favourites, and I'll be certainly enjoying this during the festive season, the Classic Cuvée by Furleigh Estate.
Okay, thank you. Yes, my mouth is really watering now, so I think we should move hastily on to the starter. And which wine will we have with that?
So I think for the starter you want something a little bit more aromatic, and actually for this I would go for your lovely Bacchus Fumé. The Bacchus Fumé is slightly contrasting from your Bacchus Dry. What I love about this, it's got that subtle touch of oak in there, and it's much more exotic. It's got these wonderful aromas which would pair really nicely with a number of different starters. So as you can see, the Bacchus Fumé has this gorgeous sort of lemon colour. It's really vibrant. It's bursting with beautiful vibrancy. And on the nose, it has the lovely stone fruit characteristics. Even you've got hints of peach and nectarine. There's also lovely floral aromas coming through, lime blossom, passion flower as well, which I think is really gorgeous. And it's got this exotic edge to it. There's hints of mandarin. It also has some lovely notes of kiwi fruit as well that shine through. And on the palate, when you taste it, it's got this wonderful tropical edge to it. There's pineapple, there's mango, there's even touches of guava coming through. And it also has this underlining zestiness, like this lime zest that's so fresh and gives it vibrancy as well. There's even a touch of gooseberry there, but it's crisp, it's aromatic, it's really fresh, and it would be a lovely way to start the meal, the Christmas meal. And for me, a really good match with this would be something like the beautiful mackerel pate would be lovely. That vibrancy, you've got the smoked mackerel, the creaminess, really contrasting nicely with the amazing Bacchus Fumé. Also good with it would be something like the prawn skewers. This is Asian influenced with touch of spice there. You've got prawns and mango skewers would be pulling out the lovely tropical notes of this wine as well. Equally, it would be good with something like, I would say, things like the baked camembert. Baked camembert could be nice with this wine. And another real hit at Christmas would be the quail's eggs. Quail's eggs with the lovely seasonist celery salt that we have there. So that would be a nice addition to go with this one for the Bacchus Fumé. Paired with that would be a lovely alternative for a starter at Christmas.
Yes, the Bacchus Fumé is delicious. I think it probably is one of my favourite wines and has been for quite some time. Probably followed closely by the West Dorset Chardonnay from the 18 vintage, which I think you're going to go on to now for the main course.
So for main course, a nice white, a nice red. I think for the white, I would certainly go for the West Dorset Chardonnay. This is really shining so well at the moment. It's a beautiful wine, and I think that it's got all the hallmarks of something that you would want to enjoy with the main course, essentially. And on the colour, it's got a much deeper lemon colour. It's got these wonderful aromas of ripe Cox's apple. There's hints of pear William in there, lovely orchard fruits, which is so seasonal this time of year. And also it has an unusual note of medlar as well, which shines through. And I find that on the palate, it's got a more depth of flavour. So tasting it, it's definitely got this wonderful silky texture, really rounded, and it also has these notes of Bramley apples shining through. And I find it's got a touch of candied peel, which is really, I think, lovely again at this time of year. And we find it has more of a sort of rounded creaminess to it, the silkiness, really beautiful balance, and a lovely long finish as well. So it would be perfect with the main meal if you had a traditional roast turkey, or even goose would go well, and with all the trimmings around it. And also it would be good with things like, for if you're not having a meat, you could have something like salmon en croûte would also go well with it. It would be good with, we've got some lovely mushrooms here stuffed with blue cheese. That would be a nice pairing as well. Even with a cheese board, you know, it's versatile enough, it could go on through the meal and be enjoyed with cheese. It goes particularly well with the blue cheese as well. So an absolute favourite, delicious wine, really stunning. It's the West Dorset Chardonnay from Furleigh Estate.
So that was the Chardonnay, and now for the red wine drinkers that might be sitting around the table, we've got something delicious for them, I think.
I would certainly recommend this. This is so exciting, this new release Pinot Noir, 2018 vintage. It's absolutely stunning, showing so well. For me, it reminds me almost of a lovely Burgundian wine. It's similar to a beautiful, elegant Volnay. So with the red, we find that it's got this lovely pale ruby colour. Aromas are, again, slightly floral. It's got notes of peony and violet there as well. And the lovely summer fruits. So there's hints of raspberry and red cherry. It's so aromatic. It really bursts with lovely summer fruits. And on the palate, when I taste it, it's so soft and well-rounded. It's got these lovely, again, silky tannins that really melt into the wine. And slightly toasted notes as well. It's got, on the palate, I'm tasting more Morello cherry really shining through. There's hints of red currant as well in there. And it has this touch of rose hip too, which is, again, a lovely thing to enjoy at this time of year. And I find it's just got a lovely balance to it, and it would be so delicious served with roast turkey or, again, goose with all the trimmings at Christmas. Also very good with something like a mushroom Wellington. Again, it would be good with our little mushrooms there that are stuffed with blue cheese. Also good with the cheese straws, so things like cheese gougères, cheese straws, that can work well as well. And it could go on to be paired with a cheese board. Again, nothing better than a lovely red served with the cheese. So especially with the hard cheese, it would go particularly well. But I just love the balance of this, and 2018 was such a brilliant vintage. You had so much sunshine and ripeness, and it really comes through in the wine. It's just a lovely, seamless integration of the oak, and it marries really well.
Yeah, that's right. We've waited so long for the 2018 vintage, so it's really nice to have it now, just before Christmas. So yeah, I think this will definitely be on our table.
Mine
Christmas
too,
Day.
for sure.
Good, good. often at Christmas we'll have friends around for afternoon tea, and I wondered just what would you suggest that we crack open then?
Well, I think a perfect wine for this occasion would be the new release Furleigh Estate Sweet Cuvée. It's such a pretty wine and it has this lovely off-dry finish. And so if you see the colour, it's got this gorgeous pale golden colour with tiny little bubbles. And what I love is the aroma. It's got this wonderful note of almond blossom and also hints of honeysuckle. And lovely stone fruit again, the yellow nectarine showing through. There's hints of quince. And then this lovely autolytic character, almost like shortbread and sweet brioche, which is so divine. And then on the palate, when I taste it, it's got this lovely creamy mousse and this perfect balance of freshness. And it has wonderful notes of almost apple compote in there. I also love the fact that it's got a sort of stewed medlar and even notes of, for me, that slightly marzipan edge. Almost it tastes like stollen. And it also has the really sort of beautiful long finish with this touch of residual sugar. So that lovely lift at the finish is such a perfect wine for enjoying at afternoon tea. And so a really good match for this. You know, it would be great with a lovely rich dark fruit cake, Christmas cake, but it's also equally good with Christmas mince pies. And a particular favourite of mine is to pair it with the lovely panettone. You know, so festive at Christmas to have that lovely light, delicate sort of fruit cake. Equally good with the beautiful Christmas stollen. You know, this is a really perfect match for that. And so I think it's a really nice wine to enjoy with friends in the afternoon. Just so pretty, beautifully balanced. And for me, that's what I'll be entertaining my guests with at Christmas as well.
Well, thank you very much, Rebecca. That was really, really good. And I hope everyone has enjoyed our Christmas tasting and perhaps learned a thing or two about Furleigh wines and the Christmas foods that they will go with. If you do want to buy any, they're all available on our website, so furleighestate.co.uk. We deliver nationwide. Probably you need to get your order in by around the 20th of December for Christmas delivery. Also, if you live locally, we are open Wednesday to Friday and we'd love to see you. So take a look at our website, lots of gifts there. We've got the lovely sweet cuvée that we were just talking about with Christmas puddings and various things like that. In the meantime, stay safe, stay cheerful and keep drinking Furleigh wine. Cheers.